before we get to those core fundamentals for creating the life that you want
Mhm.
and leading you down that path of growth and evolution. And I would definitely like to know about the one that you just mentioned about asking about how the spacecraft work. And maybe we could take a minute and talk about just everything that's been going on with extraterrestrial activity, with the government admitting to having crafts that are unidentified in the sky, these kinds of things. So what was it? What is the technology that they use to travel?
For slower than light, they definitely manipulate electromagnetic and gravitic fields. But when they want to go from star to star, okay, let's see if I explain this. They consider an object not to exist in a location. They consider location to be part of the object. In other words, objects are made out of energy patterns. One of the patterns in an object is its location in space-time. So if you consider that to be like an equation or a variable in an equation, they're basically saying if you map out the equation of all the locations from whatever your 0 point is, you create this map, then you somehow isolate your ship with a force field of some sort, and you impose on it the vibrational frequency of a location that's distant.
Okay.
And overwhelm the material of the ship with that vibration of another location other than where it is. The object has to stop existing at one location and literally instantly start existing at another location. So it has moved, so to speak, to another location without actually traveling in between. And then it reinserts itself into our reality at that location. It's a really strange concept.
Okay.
But he's saying we can actually experiment with that, and he's actually described an experiment we can do to learn that principle. So it's an interesting idea that everything is about resonance, everything is about frequency, including the way they travel.
Is the field that it creates for the ship encompassing of whatever's inside of it? Are there actual beings, biological on some level beings, or are they just energy? And I guess I'm playing with the words a little bit because I'm curious about just, we want so much to be able to travel all over the universe, bilocate, or all kinds of different things. But what's the difference between you and going to sleep and having your experience while you sleep and going to different places? Your physical body's here, but your consciousness is somewhere else. So is it energetic or is it truly biological?
It's truly biological.
Whoa.
So, yeah, I mean, astral travel is a different kind of a thing. Out of body experiences are a different kind of thing, but it sort of is the physical version of that. So, yeah, it includes anything within the field, including everything in the ship. And it sort of takes its own, it moves its own reality or a part of its reality from one spot to another. Because again, they're saying physical reality is a projection of consciousness anyway. It's an illusion. So it really
we are the illusion here.
Yeah, it really is a matter of just picking the right frequency that represents a different time and space to them.
What are the rules to this dimension? Are there rules? Laws?
Are you asking in reference to the travel, or is this a different question?
Well, I guess what I'm trying to get to is time travel, is, the things that you're talking about. Is that even possible within this reality? Or are there things inherent to this reality that are just the way they are?
Yeah, Bashar explains the idea of time travel as not being what our science fiction stories tell us it is. From his point of view, everything exists simultaneously.
Right.
Past, present, and future are illusions. Everything exists. Everyone exists. Everything is going on at the same time. So for him, time travel is not actually traveling through a single timeline. It's actually shifting to a parallel reality that may look very similar to ours, but it's not ours, because everything is going on at the same time. So all you can do is essentially shift to another timeline.
Mm.
Even if you think it's your past, it's not your past. He sort of talked about a mind experiment one day to explain that. And he said, imagine that you're 10 years old and you take a picture of yourself. Okay, there's the picture. Put it on the table. Now you grow up, you're 30 years old, and you invent a time machine. Now you use that time machine to go back and meet your own 10-year-old self. And then you take a picture and there's you standing next to the 10-year-old self. Well, he said, that doesn't negate the original picture you took of the 10-year-old. There's no 30-year-old in that picture. These are two different pictures that exist at the same time, because that's not your original 10-year-old self. It's a 10-year-old self in another reality. You are now a visitor in that reality, and anything you do doesn't change your past, because it's not your past. It's a different reality. It affects that kid's reality, but that kid isn't you.
Does that ever happen? Do we actually meet ourselves? Is that what a twin flame is? Do we meet ourselves in another body? Do we meet ourselves in another
There's
timeline?
a way in which we do that, although the word myself is a little loose in that context. This goes into a whole bunch of other stuff.
That's okay. I'm fascinated. If we
Yeah.
lose someone, people, it's fine. I mean, like, I dive so far down these holes. I'm like, I would love you to stretch my awareness.
Okay. There are what Bashar calls counterparts, and counterparts are different extensions from the same, let's say, oversoul, which is a collection of individual souls. So you can have another version of your oversoul living at the same time you do.
Okay.
That can be a quote unquote counterpart. It's not you.
Okay. Like from a soul family, a certain
higher
energetic
than that,
frequency.
even higher than that.
Okay.
In other words, you could have your individual soul, you could have soul families, soul groups, and then the oversoul, which is literally a collection of possibly thousands of souls, or it can extend itself into thousands of individual souls. Bashar says of the 8 billion people on this planet, we're only looking at about 500,000 oversouls. So many, many people are counterparts from the same oversoul, having different personal experiences at the same time. The oversoul would be like a mini god, in a sense, simultaneously experiencing 1,000 incarnations as different souls at the same time, or in different time frames. So it just depends on what the themes of those souls are, what the oversoul wants to experience.